Yeah. Wait, so watching, I thought I was Mexican, Korean born and raised in Mexico. Well, you don't see too many of those. Korean born and you raised in Mexico. Shit, it's, you go to the USA and shit. Fuck, where you? There you go.
It's like in Mexico and in Korea.
Fuck on.
안녕하세요, 강난입니다. I am 22 years old. I am Korean. pero también hablo muy buen español porque nací en México. 저는
What?
지금 외국에서 살고 있고 I really like living in both countries, like in Mexico and in Korea. Y la verdad es que yo soy más mexicana que nada. Viva el cártel de Santa. Vale que sí.
Can you briefly introduce your background?
My name is Nara. I am Mexican Korean. I was born and raised in Mexico, but I have Asian parents. So basically, my dad is from Mongolia and my mom is from Korea. But I feel like both of them were like the hippies from the family. Like they're like, oh, I want to explore, explore different cultures, and they fell in love with Mexico out of every country they went to. And actually, my dad was like a college student. No, not a college student. He was doing a PhD in Mexico, and my mom was like worker. Like she was working for like a Korean company, and one day like my mom decided to throw like a party. She decided to throw a party for her roommate, and my dad was like one of her like roommate's friends. So he showed up.
Nothing makes me angrier when I get home from a long day.
Hold on, is she about to tell a story about her parents hooking up? I mean, fuck, meeting? God damn it, what's wrong with me?
And as soon as like my mom saw him, she was like, oh shit, that's mine. Like, I'm taking him home. And just like said and done, like my mom and my dad got married 6 months later, and then I was born 2 years later, and they decided to just like raise me in Mexico.
Well,
they got straight to it.
Up in Mexico.
It's a pretty interesting experience
They got
because
straight to it,
I was actually in one of the sections of Mexico, like
I
one of the
lived in
parts of
Mexico
Mexico
for like 5
where
years
there's
and I
like
moved.
quite a bit, like a community of Asians. Because
I can
in
speak
Querétaro,
Spanish
like,
now.
that's
Don't get it fucked
the
up.
city I lived in for a long time.
Yeah, don't
That's
get it
where a
fucked
lot
up.
of
I can speak
cars,
Spanish.
like,
I'm one of those
Hyundai,
Mexicans who
like,
can't
car
speak Spanish now.
companies are
Fuck, I'm getting off topic. That's what's the vid.
So there was a Korean community, but I did not consider myself Korean or Asian at all. Like I thought I was Mexican for the longest time.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on, how long are we talking?
Think that I was part of this culture because I had never been here. Like my mom didn't really expose me to Korea that much, nor Mongolia. Like my parents were like, no, just live your life in Mexico, and then later on you could discover other parts. It was like me growing up as a Mexican and then realizing I'm not.
Yeah, slow down, buddy. You mean word.
Mexican, like, how did that make you feel? Like, did you feel a certain way about that?
I mean, I've always dealt with some like a degree of rejection, because people sometimes see foreign people and they're like, oh, like they're not part of us. But as soon as like I would start talking, they'd be like, oh, like wait, you are Mexican. So to me, like that filter that people would, you are Mexican. So
the fuck are you looking at?
To me, like that filter that people would put up on me was like something that kind of made me realize that maybe I'm not normal. And at first I was a little bit sad because I was like, I cannot fit like the standards for my own country. I feel like I am always going to be a little bit of an outcast. But then I kind of saw the beauty in it. I was like, damn, wait, I can be like a multicultural citizen. And I embraced it a lot. And I feel like a lot of people, especially in social media, embraced it and celebrated it as well. So it was something good. Something bad that turned into something really, really cool.
I don't know why I said Asian. I don't know if it was Korean.
So I have like 3 different names. In Korea, I'm Kangnara, because my mom is Kang. But my surname is like Mongolian, Pasanhu. So it's like Naransul. That's my Mongolian name as well.
Do you have a Mexican name?
I liked to call myself Jimena. Jimena.
So you made that up?
Yeah. Like Beyonce, she has like an alter ego, like Sasha Fierce. I'm Jimena. Jimena Kang,
And how many languages do you speak?
Good. Like 1. I always like mess up like the different languages
Me
I speak. Like, sometimes
I can only speak one language, like good. I can speak Spanish now, but sometimes I be saying the wrong words. I be saying I'm not gonna. Yeah, good. I can speak English. Good. I pretty much grew up here. I lived here from like when I was 5 years old to now. Now I'm 19. Mexico, I lived there for like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, something about like that. I can speak Spanish now, but I don't say it's good. Like if you hear me speak, you'll be like, okay, he can actually speak Spanish. He ain't got a little accent on him when he try to speak, but
can't even speak Spanish or English nor Korean. But I did study Spanish. Like my first language is Spanish, and then English, and then Korean. Studied a little bit of French and German, and then Mongolian.
German.
What cultural difference stood out to you whenever you find yourself like coming back to Korea?
It was a whole new world. I was like, I feel like Aladdin. I was like, oh damn! Like, I just thought Korea was so
How did he find her?
modern, so technological. Like the people were all like in
Why you
unison,
look obsessed with it?
working
Like,
towards like the same goal, which was like
why you holding it like that?
becoming a leading country. You know, like becoming such a beautiful country in like such a short time. Because like my parents that raised me, telling me the stories of like Korea struggling a lot. Like my grandpa, he's from North Korea actually, which is crazy. So he was like almost like a defector. He fought for the war, and I grew up like with my mom telling me stories about like, oh, like Korea was such a different place, and I had never been to Korea, and then when I stepped in
Hey, I look
Korea
mad.
and I
Yo,
saw like
hey,
everything, I was like,
I look mad.
oh my god, like no wonder everyone is obsessed with it. I am so
Why?
surprised at how modern and
Why?
how beautiful everything is. It's almost like I feel like I'm in Disneyland all the time. Mexico is a very warm country. For instance, like warm is in like people are very like caring and they're super sweet, super friendly people. I feel like Koreans are a little bit like more respectful, like very like. At first, there's like a very big distance, but then when they warm up to you, they're super kind. I feel like that's a difference when it comes to people. Food, the MSG here is like crazy. I love it. Like,
what is that?
Korean food is delicious.
She in Korea? Where is she right
Mexican
now?
food is delicious as well.
No, fact. That's.
I feel like it's very different. Like
that's a fact,
Mexican food
Where
is
is
like
she?
very
She in Korea?
like home. It feels like
she
you're
said she has
getting
submitted us,
like a
so.
home cooked meal
That's all
from
it
your
is.
mom.
There's
You know,
mad
like,
Asian
like
people
some
here,
warm
though. Hold on.
taco with some warm like delicious like food. And Korea is like, oh yeah, like chicken and like stews and soup. It can also feel like a Korean mother is like giving you food, but Korean food is just delicious. Like, oh my god.
Do you see yourself living?
Fuck. Where are they right now? Cause I'm seeing mad Asian people. Fuck her.
Term?
I love Korea.
Oh, she is in Korea. I
But
thought she
I feel
never been.
like a Westerner. So I have this like little story I want to share with you guys. When I first came to Korea, I felt like very out of place.
She just said she
and the
has
first
never
thing
been
I
to
wanted to do was to like adapt to become a Korean, to like make my family proud, to make my mother proud, to become like what I was meant to be. For instance, like I felt like the ugly little baby duck.
Nah, you're not ugly,
that doesn't know.
Nah,
where
that
they
might be
fit,
fine shit right
like,
there.
With a lot of.
Might be fine shit
No,
right
this
there.
is the ugly swan.
That might be
The ugly baby swan with a lot of like duckies in Mexico, right? So when I came to Korea and actually saw
Now
the
you gotta
swans,
be
I was like,
word. You gotta be
this is where I
TOS, boy.
belong. So many Koreans, like
You gotta
I
be
feel
TOS.
like I can blend in finally. But I feel like that turned out to be a little bit more difficult because I couldn't blend in. Like I tried studying Korean.
Why you be looking at the camera like that sometimes?
Doing a lot of things to become as Korean as I could be because I genuinely
But why you looking at
love
the
this
camera like
country.
that?
But after 4 years of living here, I was like, oh wait, actually, I don't
No,
think I
I'm
can
gonna
be
start
that
the
Korean.
yo, that look bad.
Not
Let me
to the level
chill.
where I thought I could get. Like I can embrace the culture, I can accept it, and I can like feel it through my veins. But
Hey, why you be looking like that?
too late to the game, to the point where I can't understand certain things. I realized that even though I love Korea,
Ole!
my identity kind of formed in the Western world. So for me,
the fuck is you looking at?
best
Fuck
of
outta.
both worlds would be to just like jump from country to country, like live in Korea,
Nah,
but
facts,
also
you
live
should
in
jump.
Mexico, like visit my family and also visit my
From
friends
country
in
to
Mexico.
country.
Like
Nah, facts. Jump.
just become a perpetual traveler. I feel like for me, it's difficult to say that I'm based in one place because I really love to move. There's always gonna be like a piece of my heart everywhere. Not only in Korea and Mexico, but like Mongolia, the U.S., Japan.
Yo,
like,
that first
just
video really didn't
everywhere I go, I'm like,
record,
I
bruh.
always
Fuck.
leave a piece of my heart,
I'm
and
trying
that's
to edit
where,
that bitch into a
where
fucking
my
video
heart
now.
is
God
what I call
damn it.
home. So I feel like my home is like the whole world, you know? I don't think I can live long term here.
Would you date
Yeah,
someone outside of your culture?
Yo, she talking like she, like that girl from that movie say, where you gonna go? I'm going home. Fuck all her.
I've had an ex from Korea and an ex from Mexico.
Come
And
on, that
something I've
Mexican guy was
noticed is
better,
that
right?
People love very differently depending on which culture they're from. And I feel like for me, the person that would be the most compatible with me would be someone who's like mixed, the same way as I am.
No!
When someone is
Fuck.
strictly from one
What am I
culture,
doing?
born and raised, and just kept living in the same culture for like a long time, there's aspects of myself
Hold on,
that
now, you know,
sometimes
you
they
kind of
cannot
like.
understand. So that makes it a little bit difficult to date. I know there's like this weird connotation when it comes to someone saying, "Oh, I want someone who's open-minded," but I really want to mean it as in like, "Oh, I want them to like be able to understand like the whole picture of who I am as a person." I would like.
Facts.
I don't really see culture, race,
Fuck, what'd I
or
just do?
age or anything like. As long as there's a
Age.
really good
Hold on now.
compatibility and respect
Fuck,
with
what
each
am I
other,
doing?
I feel like it's the best.
How did your Korean heritage affect your upbringing in Mexico?
So I did not celebrate Christmas or nor
What?
New Year's nor Easter nor like the biggest holidays in Mexico because in my family, in my home, we celebrated like the
Talking about some
Lunar
my Mexican
Year.
shit you ain't
We
even celebrate.
celebrated
I don't
the
even celebrate
Mongolian
that.
like
Secret of my mouth.
holidays as well as
celebrate
Korean
Christmas, I knew
holidays.
you.
You know, we were more centered towards holidays that were
From
Asia. So
Well,
it
like
was very
Chinese New Year?
interesting to see because in Mexico, like holidays are so important, and
No, they
even
do be
religion,
doing-
even like
they be
everything
overdoing
that
that
like
bitch.
makes up a culture was kind of switched up for me. Like when Christmas came around, like for instance, my parents did not celebrate it, and instead of saying like, "Oh, Santa is coming and bringing you guys gifts," I got like a $20 bill. I was like, "Oh no!" Like,
Oh hell no! $20? Fuck out her. Yo, I'm spamming that bitch today. Oh my god. Damn, only 20. Damn.
"Oh, happy Christmas," you know.
Am I acting spoiled right now? What the fuck?
On New Year's,
What's
for
wrong with me?
example, like I remember that in Mexico, like the gatherings are huge. Like Mexico is very focused on like
You ain't lying,
big
baby.
communities, like the cousins and the
They
uncles
hang the
and
whole
the
family around
parents
for
and,
that
like,
joint.
all of them like get together
Fireworks.
like throw a party. But we were a family of four,
been a
completely
couple
by
of those.
ourselves. So sometimes that would affect me, you know, because I wouldn't be able to understand why I couldn't get the same treatment and why I was celebrating different things or why I was not raised on a religious like on the same religious like community.
No, ask her what she would celebrate that with for
very
kids.
difficult to
I feel
understand.
like that's a great
Like,
question
my
right
home
there.
was very
W
multicultural to the point where
oh my
it was
god.
its own
W
little culture.
interviewer.
How do you
Fuck.
learn Mongolian?
I spent a lot of my childhood not isolated, but I really like staying at home with my family. So sometimes they would just say words, but they would not tell me which language it was from.
Right.
Like they would just be like, "Oh, so this is grass," you know? But in Spanish it's pasto. So I would like
Grass is pastel. What's the Spanish you learning? Cause that ain't the way. That ain't how I said it in my Spanish.
go outside and be like, "Oh, this is grass. Esto es grass." And people would be like, "What are you talking about, girl?" People
No,
think that
facts.
I am
You're chatting.
like weird because I like switch up languages a lot, but I was just
I know, I
taught
do
the
that a
words
lot.
that way.
I
And
actually
like
do that a lot.
lot of it, like a lot of the Mongolian I learned
Nah, I don't say a lot,
was
but I do
the
that.
same
I
way.
have
Like,
done that
oh, the
before.
food is called boots. So if you want to say hi to my grandma, I just say sambeno, you know? I just learned it that way and did not learn it otherwise until later on. Korean too, because I did not grow up speaking Korean because I was shy. So I was like, oh, Korean, I don't know how to. It was such an intimidating language for me, so I did not grow up speaking it. The thing that I struggle the most with in Korean is like speaking, but I'm really good at like reading, hearing, da da da. Da.
So earlier on, I asked you about like if you knew Preply.
Yeah.
Preply, they're a sponsor of this video.
Oh.
If you're looking up to level up your Korean skill, you should check out Preply. It's a sponsor.
I'm bugging. Hey! Motherfuckers is the most replayed part.
What is it about Chamberlain University that
Fuck. You getting Fuck otter. Fuck. Oh my god. I'm gonna-
내가 2020년대 한국에
Oh my god. Fuck
오자마자
otter. Hold on.
꼭 말을
Why is it the most replayed
다
part?
영어 쓰잖아요. 그래서 이 영어
Oh shit, he
계속
speak
쓰면은
he speak Asian. I mean,
한국말
no, he
진짜
said he speak
까먹어요.
Asian too.
Preply is
I mean,
such a
fuck
great
Korean.
app.
It's sort of a great platform for you to like keep revising and like your Korean. You guys should definitely check out Preply. And also, the good thing about Preply is you can choose thousands of tutors from anywhere in the world, and also like a tutor that would definitely match your students.
Oh, that sounds
Or learning Korean. You know, by
thing. I feel like there's aspects that make me and identify me as a Mexican.
W
and
ad,
there's
but you know
parts
I'm
of me
skip
that
past you about that.
I
I'm
identify
skip that
myself as
past whatever.
Korean, but I would say like I'm way more Westerner than I am like Asian, which is something I want to like balance out a lot more. It's funny because the other day like I got a hate comment that got like like 100,000 likes.
Damn!
Someone was like, oh, like Nara
Fucking
wants
loser.
to be Mexican when she wants
My
to be
bad.
Mexican, and she wants to be Korean when she wants to be Korean. And the answer for that, like, I
Damn,
feel like it would be
100,000
a great
likes?
time to answer that.
Nah,
Like,
you're the
yeah,
biggest.
of
Nah, you're the
course,
biggest one,
I am
Nora.
proud of being what I am, you know, like
Right.
rejecting something in favor of
Nah,
something
damn,
else
100,000
would
likes is
make
kinda
me
crazy.
feel like there's
Fuck
part
outta.
of, there's a part of me that's missing. It's like saying, oh, like do you prefer your mom or your dad? I can't say like, oh, I love my mom more when it's convenient. I love my dad more when it's convenient. You just love all of it. And so the hater that commented that, I was
Boy, I
hurt.
look. Hey, yo, what the
Yeah, yeah,
fuck?
that's
Oh,
right.
that's
Wrong.
yo.
Yeah,
That looked
that's really
crazy,
bad.
bro.
They're jealous of man. They're
Yeah,
jealous.
yeah.
What's a Korean culture Mexicans misunderstand about Korean culture?
That we don't look alike. Like everyone is different. I feel like in Latin America, people think that Asians are all the same. I mean, we all have like similar features, but
no,
like Chinese,
no, she's
Japanese,
chatting.
Koreans, and something that people
Nah,
misunderstand
maybe
about
not.
Korea is that I think there's a part of Mexico that loves and understands all about Korea, and another part of it that just thinks it's straight up weird. Like some people think Korean guys are like kind of like too feminine, or that they're too like cute.
Hey, yo.
It can come off as like cringe. Sometimes that people think that Koreans are a little bit just weird, you know. But they're not. They're really cool.
Nah,
they
don't be
just have a
weirdo.
different like way of like expressing themselves.
Facts. Don't be
And
weirdo.
I feel like the whole cute thing, I feel like it's a little bit, people think it's cringe, especially in the West, but I think it's really funny when they're like, "Oppa, boy, boy, boy," you know, like. When I was like younger, I used to reject a lot of like what's popular, not popular, but what's like traditional in either part of it of the cultures, like on both cultures or like either of them, because I'd be like, oh, I don't want to look like any other Korean. In my mind, in my very ignorant mind, in the past, I was like, I don't want to look like any other Korean. Like I want to look different, so I would dye my hair orange and like wear different types of things and stuff, but. I feel like there came a point where I was like, oh my god, like Korean stuff actually looks so good on me. Like no wonder, you know?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Even like my style is.
I wonder why it should look
now.
good. You look at your face. That
So
might have had
I
a
learned to
bit
embrace
raised.
it, you know, embrace it. And I love
That
it.
might have had a
It was
little bit
nice
bad.
chatting with you today, Nara. Thank you for being in my video.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending this afternoon
might sound
with
a
me.
little
I
bit
really
crazy
appreciate
yeah.
it. See you on my channel.
Channel. Ah! Don't be weird. Fuck otter.